So, you want to be a real estate investor, but where do you start? How do you know what information and sources to trust? That's where I come in. I'm Jonny Cattani, and this is the Investor Relations Real Estate Podcast. Hey guys, real quick, before we start, go to investwithcattani.com and download my free ebook, Is Commercial Real Estate Recession Proof? Now to today's show. What's up, guys? And welcome to another episode of the Investor Relations Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Jonny Cattani, and I'm joined today by Prashant Kumar. Prashant resides in Long Island, New York, and serves as managing partner of Cash Flow Champs. He's responsible for investor relations, where he maintains a strong, transparent relationships with current and prospective investors. Prashant is also involved in capital raising to ensure the transaction close and has handled every aspect of real estate syndication, from acquisitions to negotiating contracts and closing the deal. He is currently a general partner in 8 multifamily properties totaling 1,228 units, with a total portfolio value of $69,150,000. Having went full cycle on 5 properties totaling 866 units, helping investors achieve average annual returns of 20%. And is a limited partner in 6 multifamily properties totaling 840 units. Prashant, welcome to the show.
John, thank you so much for having me here.
Very, very grateful to have you. Of course, we also have to mention that you are the founder of My Realty Gains. And I'm very excited to get to this. You have an incredible resume here and a lot of knowledge to bring to the listeners. So take us back to the beginning, maybe where, you were in corporate America, maybe where you discovered the power of real estate and what kind of led you down this path to where you're at now.
So John, basically you would know that, if you are in a W2 world, how involved you are in your basically job, right? I mean, being an IT professional, we are completely consumed, 99% of our energy is consumed in solving the problems which need deep thinking. I mean, I'm not saying that you don't think too much in other things, but in IT, you are thinking ahead of what people are thinking, because you are designing the systems and you want to make sure that you are giving the best possible results to the customers so that they don't worry about nitty-gritty details. So you end up thinking about them, you end up solving the problems. So that kind of takes away all the energy that you as a human being, we as human beings have, right? And that kind of leads me to this real estate, as I'm going into real estate, I started to think, why the heck I was spending so many years in that W2 career where I was like working day and night and always thinking that was my whole world, while world is big enough outside. Once you come outside of a W2 environment, or at least from my IT job, it kind of felt as if I have unlimited potential. I mean, I can do anything, anything I want to do, the doors are open. So that kind of, about 7 years ago, that started, all in all, I've been into IT for 25 years, but 7 years ago, I started investing into real estate. And it's once you find a good deal, you stick to that and that's it. I mean, that kind of creates a future right then and there. I bought 172 unit apartment complex and it kind of created my own future. I mean, I could leave my job just based on one building, where I don't have to spend like an hour a week even to get that kind of cash flow, So it kind of brings the financial freedom to your table. Obviously, you needed some cash. I needed some cash to close that, but that was not horrible amount of cash, and that's it. I did that, and after that, it's like your floodgate opens up. So for last 7 years, I've been spending a lot of time in real estate. I've done probably 15 to 20 syndications. I'm general partner in most of them. Recently, I started going into assisted living space also. So besides multifamily, I do assisted living space. I am the founder and owner of My Realty Gains. I'm collaborating more with a few other folks and opening up a new brand called Cash Flow Champs. We have new things on horizon. I coach people. Those who want to learn from from a little bit senior people. I coach them, and basically we have our own virtual summit coming up. We are very excited, for the times that are ahead of us. Right now, we are in a holding pattern because of the market condition. Right now it is third quarter end for year 2022, and market is up and down a little bit. So we are in a holding pattern, but we are gearing towards a better future. We are connecting with a lot of people. We recently were in Houston for Quest Expo, Lone Star Capital Summit in New York City. There are a lot of things on the horizon which are coming up. We are attending a lot of events, connecting a lot of investors, helping a lot of people out. So if you need any help, reach out to us anytime, Prashant at myrealtygains.com or Prashant at cashflowchamps.com. That's my introduction.
I love it. That's awesome. That's incredible. So you started as a passive investor then, is what I understand.
I did. I must say that I did not start as a passive investor. I still do passive investing because I need to place my capital somewhere and get some depreciation. So I do passive investing all the time. Did I start as a passive investor? No. I became a lender. I lent some money to somebody on a house. So that was my learning phase. And then I started, doing some single families myself. And during that time, I did some passive investing also. And I realized passive investing can create me more money than the single family house that I am, spending, cleaning and, creating the, all the tenant trash and toilet horror stories. So I went directly into multifamily. 6 months into my real estate exposure, I started multifamily, and I'm not stopped ever since.
That's awesome. I love that so much. A fascinating bit of irony that investing can create more wealth and financial freedom than, especially if you stay in the single family realm, right? I mean, certainly a lot of people start there, especially if they're not necessarily high income earners. That way, they can build up equity in something and eventually, hopefully move into the commercial space. But it is ironic that being a passive investor can actually create more freedom and wealth, than staying kind of in that active side, unless, of course, obviously you get into the syndication world, which you're in. So I am curious about My Realty Gains. Explain, you're obviously the founder. What is it that you do over there?
So yeah, My Realty Gains, I'm a syndicator, right? I mean, I do syndications. My group does syndication. I have other partners also, depending upon the deal. We buy multifamily assets, value-add assets in North Carolina, South Carolina markets. Along with multifamily, we do assisted living also. I have had some properties in California. Now I recently bought a property in Connecticut, 60-unit nursing home to assisted living conversion. In addition to that, we just bought a 150-unit hotel in Sierra Vista, Arizona, which we are converting into assisted living. So, all the real estate stuff is happening in My Realty Gains. And from My Realty Gains, I'm the founder and president, and I'm building another brand called Cashflow Champs, along with some few other partners. And I kind of explained, we have bigger, brighter things on the horizon through that brand as well.
Got it. Okay. So My Realty Gains is essentially a like private equity then, basically.
That is a private equity company. We have investors, we syndicate deals ourselves in My Realty Gains.
Awesome. I love that. And assisted living is a fascinating asset class because obviously took a dip in with COVID. Are you still seeing some discounts in terms of that asset class?
So assisted living basically, I don't think it has taken a dip. It did take a dip in the COVID, yes, but there were a lot of government grants that we had. So we were able to kind of remain afloat because of the government grants. All in all, it worked out okay for us, and we are, and it is ramping up back on basically. Yes, it did take a hit in COVID. It is ramping back on, and I don't see why it should go down in future, because every day 10,000 baby boomers are going into the retirement age, and nobody's getting younger, right? So if we find a place where we have enough demand, that's where we try to go and put our assisted living.
Awesome. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And what is the conversation like with investors, especially now, right? You mentioned in some aspect you're in a holding pattern just due to the economy. What's your conversation like with investors right now, either between, getting into assisted living, maybe that's a new asset class for them, they haven't explored it, or, kind of this holding pattern and helping them understand, what's happening with the economy?
Yeah, so assisted living is a different kind of investor base, right? The investors who are not, who are a little more financially not savvy, who don't need any cash flow basically. So it's more for appreciation, because to set up an assisted living takes some time. You go into a project, you build it either ground up or you convert it from a different asset class to assisted living. It takes some time. So typical return time for those projects is about 2 years. So if the investors are not looking for a quick return, then it is easier for us to, and we have enough investors, doctors, high net worth individuals who are not who don't care, about the cash flow, who actually look for at the end how much are they going to make. So those kind of investors typically get attracted towards assisted living because their returns are not immediate, but they end up making more money, because we have higher preferential return to investors. So overall, as I said, it is a little bit higher net worth individual, who are non-cash flowing kind of investors, they're appreciation investors. And just a different class of investors, so you have cash flow investors, non-cash flow investors, cash flow investors, appreciation investors. So assisted living is more for the appreciation investors.
Right. Absolutely. And those are going to be, like you said, your high income earners who just don't need the cash flow. So, typically to be a high income earner, you're a very busy professional, right? Obviously you were in that world. What is that like in terms of helping them understand the benefits of passive investing and kind of, building wealth this way?
Yeah. So most of my investors are like, they want to understand if they have enough cash, can they reduce some income? They have W2 high income earners, as you said. Can they reduce some of the W2 income? Even if they are not real estate professional, they can still reduce $20,000-$25,000, passive loss or against active income that they can do for sure. Besides that, there are other, besides that, there's nothing else. For them, they just have money sitting in the bank account. They have seen the money going down to drain in the stock market, so they are scared of that. My conversations with them are pretty simple. Hey guys, you want to preserve your capital for long term, and in the long term want to achieve higher returns, as much as 2.25 to 2.5 times in 5 years. You don't do much if you are a passive investor. And these are doctors and all. They just cut the check. For them, it is relatively easy, because they know that they have lost money in real estate and they are scared of. They have not lost money in real estate. They have lost money in stock market, and
Right.
they're scared of stock market. So for them, convincing is not difficult at all. It's typically one phone call and they send you a check, easily.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense. I'm scared of the stock market too, right? And I was a stockbroker for many years. It just, especially now in these times. And I love how you brought up capital preservation, because that is so key. It's key always, right? Really, And then obviously as you get older, it becomes more important. But, especially in an economy like this, when there is that major ebb and flow in stock market, crypto, kind of all these other, investment opportunities. And then you look at the data in real estate with a good syndicator in multifamily and even in the assisted living space, and you see, this, it's a lot less, obviously, a lot less heavy ebb and flow, right? And so it seems like an easy conversation to have, and sounds like on your end it is. So what have you identified as your passion in this space? I know obviously you're very knowledgeable about all of it, but what part is it that really stands out to you?
See, passion is not about money. I don't think passion is about money at all. Passion is more about helping others. And again, there's no need for me to brag in any way, but it's more about helping seniors. In the end, you end up making money for sure, yes. But your goal is to provide the care, the real care that you can provide to these seniors. They are going to pay you anyway, right? Because that's part of the deal. But if you provide them right care, they are, truly speaking, they are blessing you in a way, right? Their heart is full of love. They don't have much to do except to bless those who are coming and helping them, to take care of them. So if you come in from a service perspective, you end up making your life as a fulfilling mission. It becomes your life's mission. It kind of creates a fulfillment for the cause. So I think that's what my passion is, helping others in whatever capacity, whether it is multifamily or assisted living. And that's it. That's all I want to do. And hopefully we continue to do that for future also.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that so much. And it's true, right? And that's what's so fascinating about this industry. Like, yes, sure. Obviously money is made on our end, right? I raise capital, that produces an active income for me. But really the best part is truly helping other people realize the power of, in this case, passive investing, and really creating actual wealth, right? The difference between rich and wealth, and kind of have that whole conversation. And when that light bulb goes off and they realize the power that real estate can give for creating that, whatever goal they have, whether it's financial freedom or, just a better retirement, man, that really is probably one of the most fulfilling things.
Yeah. So you really you are really helping whatever you are doing, you are helping somebody out, right? You are helping your investors make extra cash, right? Number one. Number two, you are helping your residents in multifamily. You are creating a good place, safe environment for them to live. You are helping your seniors to live a better life than otherwise they would do wherever they are, right? You are just coming from a very humble mood that you are here to help. Money will come definitely. You are doing the business, and to me, that's the greatest fulfillment of my life is to create that environment where people come and feel secure, safe, and loved. In true sense.
Absolutely. I love that so much. That's awesome. One thing I want to get to, you mentioned a new brand you're rolling out as the Cash Flow Champs. Explain that one compared to these other opportunities you have.
Yeah, so cash flow. I have done, even in my realty gains, I have done many deals with other individuals, as they being general partners. So we said, why don't we come together and create a bigger brand where we have, access to resources from all sides, equal resources. I bring a lot of things to the table, plus our other partners bring a lot of knowledge, a lot of charisma to the table. And we are creating this brand where we plan to do a lot of activities. We have a lot of investors in our database. We plan to do a lot of marketing again. We are creating a virtual summit, as I said. We have already sponsored multiple events. Last week we were in Quest Expo in September 2022 in Houston. We were sponsoring that. Creating a brand awareness. And then we have stronger underwriters and asset managers on our team. So we are trying to vertically integrate in the sense, we are trying to open our own property management company. We are putting a lot of processes in place. So we are building that brand, not just from a brand sake, but more for business sake. We plan to do multiple deals in that brand, although that brand will focus on multifamily only currently. But who knows, as the time comes, maybe we'll focus on assisted living also in that brand.
That's awesome. So you guys are really obviously, bringing in strong partners, but really focusing on the education piece with the cash flow champs.
We know education, not as much as sales, selling the education, but more for brand awareness,
right?
Investor acquisition. We are creating the summit, virtual summit once, hopefully again in 6 months. And through that, we hope that we have created a process. We have designed a process where we are able to potentially, have a higher investor acquisition, basically.
Wow, that's awesome. I love that. And so you mentioned earlier that you were in a bit of a holding pattern. Kind of explain, what you mean by that, and what you're kind of seeing and holding out for.
See, there are a lot of people who are doing deals right now, right? The rates have gone up quite a bit. Deals are still penciling out if your raise is higher, but that kind of leaves very little for the sponsors to the table. Market may go down, up and down, either way. We feel that market may come down a little bit, which kind of makes us a little bit nervous, in terms of losing investors' capital. That's the primary focus, right? I mean, capital preservation. So we don't want to get into deals where we think the market may go down 5-10%, and we end up even losing investor capital or not able to produce the return that we think that we would promise, right? Investors are always investors, right? They want 15, 16, 20% return on their money, for obvious reasons. But if your deal is not able to produce that kind of return, who looks bad? Sponsor. So instead of doing all the hard work and not getting the praise from your investor, we said, let's take a break for some time and see where which side the camel sits, because you never know, it may sit on this side or this side. We are just trying to be risk averse, at this point, just for some time, couple of months, to see where it is going, basically.
Awesome. I love that. Well, this has been incredible, Prashant. Honestly, love your perspective. Love what you're doing, with your different brands. Obviously, very knowledgeable. So I appreciate that. So with that, we'll jump to the final 5. First question: best advice you've gotten from a mentor?
See, the best advice I have gotten from a mentor is always have a mentor.
That is so true.
It is true in the sense that, it could cut years from your journey into the business world. If you have a good mentor, it could accelerate, it could fine tune your journey. You are the owner of your own destiny. You are going to do what you're going to do. But if there's somebody who has done it before you and you're following their path, all you do is just follow the path. You don't have to reinvent the wheel yourself. And that cuts so much time from your journey. It just makes your life way much easier.
Absolutely. I love that. It's so true, because you really can do it by yourself, but man, it will take you a long time, especially in this business.
Yes.
What is it about your career that makes you feel like you're fulfilling your why?
Yeah. So as I said, the passion for helping others is not like something which I just mentioned it for the heck. That has been in my blood forever since, as I was a kid. So I have always done a lot of things. I help people meditate. that's my passion. I've been meditating for 30 years. I'm an instructor free of charge for last 15 years. So I try to help wherever I can in this community. Free sessions for meditation for so many years. I will stop any work anytime. If somebody is willing to sit with me for 30 minutes, I help them out, whatever. I mean, I'm nobody to help them out, but at least I guide them, tell them how to do, what to do, things like that, so that people gain some peace. Other than that, that's my passion. That's my why, is to help others at whatever level I can. So, at a mundane level, physical world, investors making more money, residents finding better place to live, seniors finding a good place to retire and kind of take it easy where you are being loved, and at a deeper level, helping them at the spiritual level, hopefully, for some to gain some peace in their hearts.
Wow, that's awesome. That's incredible. I love it. Yeah, I'm probably going to reach out to you about meditation because that's one thing I'm really trying to implement into my morning routine. Mm-hmm. And, I'm admittedly not as consistent with it as I would like to be. And I think a lot of it is just probably not doing it correctly. So
yeah, it's primarily if you have, again, a mentor in that area also, you can cut your life's worth of efforts, into a few days. That's awesome. All it is. I mean, I used to meditate on my own for years, and then I found a mentor for myself. And man, within 3 days, I was like, whatever I had done in my life, 8-10 years, that was like gone. I was like, so I said, I was just fortunate that I found somebody at that time. And that was my quest. Maybe 10 years. It took me 10 years to find somebody who could guide me. But when I found somebody, I never left the hand. I hold it so tight. I'm still holding it after maybe 25 years.
Wow, that's incredible. Love that. Favorite non-real estate or investment related book?
I have a book called Heartfulness Way. It is non-real estate book. It is more towards how you want to live a heartful life. Heartfulness Way. It's on Amazon, $10 book. If anybody wants, I can send them a copy. I have many of them. But I love that book.
Wow. Awesome. We'll definitely add that to the list. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
My superpower, again, is being open, and just throw yourself out there. And the moment I start thinking about how much am I making out of a deal, I start feeling that I'm becoming smaller. The moment, and I keep on, I make money. I make money all the time on my deals. Okay, don't take me wrong. But the moment I start thinking about how much I would make personally, I become smaller. When I feel like how much I can make, help others to in this deal, I feel bigger. Bigger me. So that I feel like that's my superpower is to give myself to this world.
Wow. That's awesome. I love that so much and so grateful that you're willing to share that. Awesome. Last one. What's the best way for people to get a hold of you and learn more?
Well, it is very easy. You go to my websites. There are many websites, but simple is at the back, myrealtygains.com and fill up a form or leave your number or schedule a call with me from there.
Perfect. We'll link it in the show notes, make it super easy. Prashant, thank you so much. This has been incredible.
Jonathan, thank you so much for having me. I'm honored that you invited me on your podcast today.
Absolutely. It was my pleasure. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode. I hope you really enjoyed it. Listen, I know it's cliche and you hear it all the time, but please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you know when the next video is coming out. Even though this is technically a daily podcast, you know it's coming out the next day. We have a ton of content coming your way. So please like and subscribe. It helps a ton. Leave comments. Would love to know what you guys think. And we will see you on the next one. Thanks so much.